I'm coming to you with a disturbing video today. You know, the social media these days is flooded with all kinds of disturbing videos, and you begin to wonder where the world is leading us to. And as humans who are inhabitants of this world, the society where we live, we see how people react to issues, just follow their instincts, follow their impulse. It seems there's no control. Everyone is doing what is right in his own eyes. And you know the story that in human history, even in centuries and centuries ago, as it was reported in the book of Judges, that when there was no king in Israel, everyone did what was right in his own eyes. And that history continues to repeat itself even today. We see a disturbing video trending online recently about a husband who walked into a meeting, or it's just as if it was an occasion going on, and he just walked straight to his wife and wanted to pull her, grab her, storm the place with kind of anger, and wanted to grab the woman to pull her. And before you know, the issue quickly degenerated into all kinds of shoutings, insults. If you check the video, you see to the extent that they even seized the microphones of the occasion and used it as if they were debating, as if they were challenging each other in a kind of competition, insulting each other. Please watch the video. I'm not going to judge who is right or wrong, because I have not, I don't know the people, and I've not sat with them. Since this is Moralgovernor, we are very careful on talking about putting our opinions on issues where we cannot verify. So many people have come to claim that the man, according in the video, alleged that the wife left their son in the hospital, and so went for a meeting tagged as August meeting. Well, my concern is not whether the story is right or wrong. It's speculating whether it is verified to be true or it's not true. My concern is the public display of violence, public display of shame by what seems to be from a husband and wife. Because in the video we could hear the man saying, "Is it because you are any more than me?" So that shows there's a kind of husband and wife relationship that he and that particular woman are having. So one can assume and conclude from that point that their family, their husband and wife. So my concern in this video is to talk about the display of public show of shame and a kind of something that would have led to violence if people were not there to actually barricade them or hold them for not, so that they will not fight, because the man was ready to pounce on the wife and the wife was also ready to withstand him in any kind of what is it, just like they say, bring it on, bring it on. So she was like, bring it on, I'm ready, what do you offer? So that is what we see. You see, when conflict enters a home, which is almost normal, whose standard do we follow? Do we just react by emotions leading to anger, or there is a standard? Now let me ask, if marriage was a movie, who is the script writer? Is it you as the man or the wife, or society or culture? Well, we live in a society where man is dethroning God from their lives and enthroning self. And so public opinion, self-opinion are now overriding the standard which the moral governor has created. Well, whether you like it or not, if marriage was a movie, or if marriage were a movie, God is the script writer, and he has given to the husband, the wife, the children, the key players in every home as to what they ought to do in every situation. So in a violent situation, or in a situation that has to do with disagreement like this, then there is a standard that ought to be followed. And if such standard were followed, you will see that there would have been peace. That public display of shame will not happen. You see, there is a philosopher called Friedrich Nietzsche. He's a philosopher some centuries ago, and he had propounded a theory that is tagged God is dead. God is dead. And his idea is that man should stop trying to be objective when it comes to moral issues by going to seek for the standard or what God says. Man should just generate his own values and use it to live his daily life, instead of going to receiving an instruction from God. And you see that is the same philosophy that almost we see in the society today. At the slightest provocation, you see marriages disintegrating. Husband and wife just want to go their way, as if marriage is just something you can jump in and jump out. So we are asking, who is the standard? What is the standard when it has to do with conflict resolution in the home? Now we see today, just like in this case, some people say, oh, the man is right, how can the woman live? If the story is true, actually, many people just want to pass judgment even when they have not verified what the truth is. So now, but even though human beings may have their opinions as to who is right, or who shouted the most, or who is more influential, or sometimes people may judge from culture, and the woman is supposed to be at home taking care of children and so many things like that. But we are told that the moral governor searches the heart. He does not judge by human opinions or what is the favorite of the people. So we see that when man decides to choose his own way, what results is confusion. And that is the confusion we are seeing in our society today. You say religiously people are confused. People don't know what to believe again. Politically, the same thing, confusion. Morally, moral confusion. Everyone is right and nobody, as if there is no standard. Everybody is doing what is right in his own eyes. Because man has chosen to form his own values and not depend on the standard that is revealed by the moral governor. So everyone becomes his own moral standard. And that is what we see. So in that man's eyes, in the husband's eyes, his own is just reacting. I will go and scatter the event and pull her out. So one thing I want to let us know, that God has a standard. And in a conflict like this, what is the standard? Violence is not the situation. The moral governor says in Proverbs chapter 15 verse 1 that soft words turns away wrath, but harsh words stirs up anger. You saw what that man, as he went to the occasion, a peaceful occasion, he went to stir up and scatter the whole show. So it becomes that. And again, the moral governor also put up a principle in James chapter 1 verse 19. He says we should be quick to hear, we should be slow to speak and slow to anger, slow to wrath. So when you follow this principle, you discover that would have handled whatever conflict that man was having in his family, that had led to public shame, insults, and all these things. What we are saying in this video is that man should learn to depend on the standard. The more people are saying there's no God, the more our society is slipping into darkness, because the moral governor says when people close their eyes against the truth in Romans 1:18, they slip into darkness. It is a fast forward, as if you are fast forward into darkness. You fall into darkness, and the world is broken because man continues to devise his own way and not depend on the way of the moral governor. It is very sad when you see people fighting on the streets and husbands dragging the wife, and anger has become uncontrolled, and people, you see verbal abuse, emotional abuse, and the internet becomes the judge. Internet becomes the courtroom where people bring their family issues and settle. If you check, that is what is happening. And this is not the mind of the moral governor. So if man could acknowledge the moral standard, that morality is not relative, morality is objective, and it is universal, and God is the moral standard, then we will choose to come to God, so that issues like this will be settled without resorting to all kinds of things that cannot be mentioned among humans. So that display of that family is shameful, and it does not depict the dignity that the moral governor created man with. So the more we try to form our own standard, the more we are deteriorating into something that God never made us to be. So this is the Moral Governor channel, where we weigh every action and inaction under the lens and standard of the moral governor. Subscribe to this channel and like the video, share it to others, so that issues like this will be resolved in the way of the moral governor. I remain Solomon, an agent of the moral governor.